All right, everybody, welcome back. Here we are in round 5 of 7 here at our Nerd Age Gaming Championship trial. We're playing some Modern today from Buffalo Grove. I am Matt Bamonte, and the beautiful man next to me is Brad Brown. And honestly, Brad, I didn't know what decks we had this round.
I didn't either.
But we kind of took a step back to you and I as youthful Magic players, youthful Modern Magic players.
That's true.
So what happened was we pulled the decks, and as some of you know, I am a burn aficionado, or I used to be at one point in my life. I was a burn aficionado, and Brad is like Abzan man through and through.
I was Abzan guy for a long time. You're not wrong. I love me some mid-range.
So while we don't have rooting interests in the tournament, this is a good, classic good versus evil with Burn being the good guy, in case you're wondering.
Now, Will Krueger on Abzan is playing a slightly different list than what I used to play. I mean, I used to play Siege Rhinos back in the day.
Wow.
Not really a card you see too much anymore. Will's taken a page out of a Reed Duke's team event that he recently played in.
Okay.
He played at Abzan. So he's got 4 Bobs in the main, a lot lower to the ground, much more 2-drops.
Yep. So Charles is just playing Burn deck. He's got like mono 4-ofs, aside from the 1 Grim Lavamancer and the 3 Skullcracks. Nothing really new to see here. A decent start here for Charles. He does have the Monastery Swiss Spear on turn 1. And Will is down to 19 only. So Will's land's cooperating here, and he went for an Inquisition, took an Eidolon of the Great Revel out of Charles' hands. So,
yeah, and a lot of times this matchup's going to come down to those early lands and how they come into play tapped. And the other card we see here is a very important land in the matchup, which is Shambling Vent. It can buy you a lot of time. He will need to remove this Swift Sphere pretty soon. And the other thing I usually look at is Collective Brutality, which I can't really read Will's handwriting much on this deck list.
I'm looking to help.
But I'm pretty sure he has 0 copies.
No, I see 0. No, I see 0. You're right.
Which is a little out of the ordinary, I think. And certainly is not going to help him.
Oops, it should be 14, 19. I think the life totals I actually have swapped. So there we go. So it's 14 to 19. The other way here.
Now again, we are seeing, double Inquisition's great. An early Tarmogoyf's good.
That's tough to beat.
And so Will's taken very few points of damage from his own lands this game, and that's important.
Yeah, so Will has Charles has a Lightning Helix in his hand. Other than that, like there's not a lot going on. So I assume this Rift Bolt's going to Will, although you could use both this and that Helix in hand to kill the Tarmogoyf. I hate those exchanges as a burn player though. So yeah, it looks like Will's gonna go down to 9.
So he'll need 4 3-point burn spells.
And he has 1 in hand already. So he only need 2 at this point.
Right. Yeah, I mean I
think that math works out for me. The Swift Spear can block a turn if it needs to. I think he's in pretty good shape just to go for this.
Yeah, a lot of times when I play this matchup, it's like, how many lands will the burn player draw?
Yep. And yeah, Charles is in great shape. He has Will down to 9, and he has 6 points of burn in hand. He's just a card away. Now this Liliana is interesting though.
Yeah, it really. Do you go up or down with it? And typically, I like to go up.
Wow. What do I do if I'm Will here?
This is tough.
I think I'm going up.
No, I think I.
Wow, just
we
jamming.
Need to kill this.
Okay.
You need to close the game and race.
So here's a Helix. So Charles is going to go back to 17. Will down to 6. He is 1 point away, 1 spell away. So it looks like
2 Skullcracks.
Looks like a 2 Skullcracks. So he needs to kill him basically this turn here.
He can Lily tick up and take 1 though.
You sure can.
Which is the play we're going to see.
And you have to just hope he hits lands the rest of the game essentially though.
Well, really just 1 turn. And the reason I say that is if he Skullcracks now and the Shambling Vent gets to connect next turn.
Oh, good point.
That will change the math.
Is this a 6/7 now?
Yep.
Man, he's pretty close.
All right.
So Will's at 3. You got to rub your hands together.
Is where you rub your hands together. Both players.
Boom.
There it is.
All right. Great.
So Burton's usually going to win if they can cast a spell every turn and they only ever draw 2 lands.
Very good. Very good analysis, Bradley.
I mean,
very good. That's true.
If every other spell you're drawing is 3 points of burn.
If you don't hit 3 lands, you're probably crushing everybody in the field. So we found the secret to Charles Morton's 4-0 success is we just hit 2 lands and that's it.
Just the minimum number of lands needed to win the game every time.
Very good. So do you want to start with Will's sideboard and see how it gets better for him, hopefully?
Yeah, and I do want to just point one thing out about that game. I'm not saying it was a mistake. Will did take a Searing Blaze at one point, and I think like there's a little risk there because Charles didn't have another land.
Yeah, he was trying to protect the Tarmogoyf, I think, was the biggest thing.
But it's so big.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but anyway, on Will's side, we've got a few Fulminators, some Stony Silences. Don't really like those. Dampening Sphere, not excited about. A Liliana the Last Hope, again, not very good. 2 Path to Exile, I think those will come in. A Nile Spellbomb, a Choke, and a Grafdigger's Cage. Nothing in the side that I'm happy with. And he's got 4 Dark Confidence that he needs to...
Is there a single card I like?
Yeah, there's a lot to want to take out. I think like I said, I think Will was hoping to dodge this matchup today.
Yeah, there's not a single card. There's not a single card I like. So we'll move along to Charles's side here. Charles has a pair of Deflecting Palms, 2 Paths, 2 Searing Bloods, a Wear Tear, 2 Stony Silence, 2 Rest in Peace, 3 Exquisite Firecraft, and a Skullcrack. Honestly, there's not a lot I love here either. The Paths are okay to get Tarmogoyf. Rest in Peace is... I just don't love that. Like, unless you know Will has Lingering Souls, which he might, he's an Abzan deck, so Rest in Peace is okay, hits Tarmogoyf, the Lingering Souls, and there's like Scavenging Ooze in the deck too. But if you don't know that, it's probably not worth bringing in.
I mean,
I like to stay trim when I'm burnt. I don't like to cut a bunch of things just for the sake of cutting things.
Yeah, I can see an argument for Rest in Peace because like one of the ways you lose is just an early big Tarmogoyf and keeping that card down. But at the same time, like I kind of mentioned, this matchup can come down to like how many lands did Burn draw? Did they draw like one brick one turn?
Yeah,
will be enough. And if you just draw a Rest in Peace that doesn't do anything, you're certainly going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think I would probably remove this Grim Lavamancer. I don't really love the Eidolons in this matchup either. So it's like 5 cards. The 2 Paths, the 2 Rest in Pieces maybe, and maybe the 4th Skullcrack if you assume he has things like Collective Brutality or like Kitchen Finks.
You don't like Eidolon in this matchup?
No, I hate Eidolon in this matchup.
Just because it's not big enough?
Just not big enough.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate it from an Abzan point of view.
I cut Eidolon all the time, and it might not be right. I don't love that card, especially late in the game where it just becomes nonsense, really.
Sure.
So let's see. Will, looks like both guys keeping. Yeah, it looks like they're keeping here. So both guys going to keep 7. All right. And they're going to go ahead and start back up. That was a quick game one. It was like probably 4 or 5 minute long game.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, these last couple of rounds have definitely been quick. I mean, again, we didn't...
So Will, we're going to lead off with a basic Swamp and Inquisition. Probably his best start here.
Ooh, and I see a Goblin Guide that we can take.
Lots. They brought in the Rest in Peace.
He did bring in the Rest in Peace. Yeah.
Does he have no lands? That's a no-lander.
Whoa, no... Is
that a mountain, the 3rd card right here next to the Rest in Peace and the Lava Spike? That must be a mountain. I thought it was a lightning bolt.
It's a mountain, yeah. The bolts don't have text at the bottom.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's a mountain. I was like,
Yeah, he's just got a 1-lander.
So it depends on Will's hand. He looks like he has Tarmogoyf and Liliana. So I think, wow, the Rest in Peace. Yeah, because you want Tarmogoyf.
Yeah,
you can beat these 1-drops.
He can play it next turn, and Charles won't have an answer to Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. There's another land. So we've succeeded in...
Hey.
Look at that. All right, down to 18 for Will.
He really needs a Windswept Heath and go get Basic Forest.
Found another swamp. That's too bad. Well, Verdant
is.
Catacombs, good enough.
That will do it.
17, going to go to Forest, I assume, here. And this Tarmogoyf is already a 3/4, so pretty big. And then, all of Charles' deck is instants, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
like, he's not getting away from...
Yeah. It's a 4/5. It's going to be a 4/5 eventually.
I think I saw an Abrupt Decay in Will's hand.
Oh, really? Okay. So, Will's actually in a great spot here.
Yeah, he's a very good spot. This is how you beat Burn.
Yeah, he does. Abrupt Decay and Liliana.
That'll do instant and creature. Oh, and Lily's great, too, if he has Lily next turn.
Yeah.
And I believe he has 2 swamps.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 swamps, so.
So he's going to take minimal damage from his lands, which, again, is kind of talked about earlier, is definitely what you want against Burn. which is hard to do with Abzan. Like,
Yeah.
Jund has an easier time because they have Blackleaf Cliffs.
Yeah, I agree.
And they usually play that as a 4 of, and Abzan will play Blooming Marshes, but it's usually like a 2 or 3.
So what are we doing for Charles here? We're just like, it's pretty rough. Is it play your creatures out and then, just waiting around seems bad. He has a bolt.
He can 2 for 1 himself.
I think he has a lightning bolt and a Boros charm, among other things in his hand here. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. 2 for 1ing yourself feels really bad. I mean, it does, quote, solve the problem.
Yeah.
How good is it to push 2 damage here? So, yeah, so we can't even attack anymore. When Burn's not attacking, you're feeling pretty good. There's a Windswept Heath.
I really like Lily minus this turn. Puts a creature in the yard, your Tarmogoyf's going to be really large. If he takes out the Lily for any reason, then your Tarmogoyf grows even more.
Okay. And he has a basic swamp in hand, so it's not costing you anything other than the card in your hand.
And then it also, like, if he chooses to go after the Liliana...
It puts 2 cards in the bin, an instant and the Liliana too, card types.
And then the other thing is, like, that's not damage you're taking.
Yep, I agree. I'm with that. Will's kind of laboring over his decision here, so he does have a lot of great choices. He has this Abrupt Decay, and a Liliana. I think it's probably the 2 cards he's debating between.
I feel like that might be a pulse at the end of his hand too.
Oh, Maelstrom Pulse. Abrupt Decay. Okay. So you get to play a tap land here too, which is some small equity. I mean, I don't even think you're attacking with Tarmogoyf at this point either. Just like wait one more turn maybe. It's a 5/6. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a 4-turn clock.
Yeah, 4-turn clock's pretty good. Wow. So Charles doesn't even use a lightning bolt there. Makes what, a 14? Down to 12 here.
Top. That could come into play.
And then this Boros Charm's going to put him to 8. Will's in some serious trouble, actually. Charles has 3 cards left. Okay. It's going to be a close race.
Again, yeah, it's going to come down to that, like, 1 turn of drawing too many lands.
Fatal Push was a great draw.
Yeah. I mean, it was okay. You really wish it was Collector Brutality.
Oh, you always wish it was Collector Brutality.
But you got to register that card.
Are we passing here? Wow. Okay.
Wow, that's very surprising. I would want to get Lily on the field for sure.
Yeah, I think I would put Liliana, and I probably would have started plussing, I think, at this point.
Well, I think you got a minus first.
1 turn, you think?
Well, I mean, you can't just take a free 2 damage off the Goblin Guide.
Yeah, that's fair. We have Fatal Push. So Will's plan is Fatal Push, I suppose, this turn. This is his plan.
Which, to me, is the same as just Liliana minus.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, Liliana minus is mostly better because then it
and then
gets cards out of his hand.
Also, next turn, you can push plus activate an attack with Treetop Village.
Yeah, so Will's down to 8. 8 to 7. And I mean,
Lingering Souls doesn't change much.
Charles has 6 points in his hand. He has 9 points, excuse me. Like, he's going to untap and kill Will.
Yeah, sure.
7 because he goes to 10.
Well,
Treetop doesn't kill him.
Well, oh, right.
So Will, again, has to Liliana plus to get 1 card out and hope to fade again.
Right.
Yeah, Lingering Souls doesn't do anything.
And if he would have Lilied last turn and minused,
He'd be plus...
He'd either be plus 3 life from a card, or he'd be able to attack with Treetop Village this turn, and still get a card out of Charles's hand.
Yeah, fetch lands are off for Will now, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think you have to Liliana and just hope it's good enough at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
We're in a Treetop.
I think he's just going to try to go for lethal, but it's not going to work out.
That's not it.
Now, does he have...
He has a Lightning Bolt in hand.
2 lightning bolts, right?
Yeah. Another bolt.
Yep.
All right, we're dead. Wow, so Charles Martin going to move to 5-0 with Burn. So, yeah, I don't know. The Liliana turn, I think Will's going to look back at and just maybe he's going to think about that one for a little while. That was close. I think you got to get Liliana rolling at some point. Whether it, and especially if it soaks up 5 damage, because it would soak up the Goblin Guide at least, That's at least 2 points. And then if Charles decides, well, I have to light this Lilian on fire,
Right.
that's 5 points there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big swing. And then it might have been the 2 turns that Will needed to get across the finish line there. So, anyways, congrats to Charles Martin. Going to move to 5-0. Might be able to draw in 12.